So in this video, I'm going to show you something really cool. We're going to derive the distance formula. So hopefully all of you know that formula by now, but let's see where it comes from, right? It's always good to see where things are coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing 2 points on the XY plane. Let's call them arbitrary points. Also, let's draw, let's call the first point to be x1, comma, y1, and second point, x2, comma, y2. So just any arbitrary point on the xy plane. So let's draw our xy plane. So we have the xy plane here. And let's suppose x1, y1 is right here. And so this is x1, y1. And let's suppose x2 and y2 is located here. Now I want to find this distance right here, how far these points are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct a right triangle. So here's our bottom side and here's our vertical side. And we have created a right triangle. So now take a look at this. We have a point right here. Now the coordinate for that point, so in the x direction, that point is actually x2. And in the y direction, that point is y1. So this point has the coordinate x2 comma y1. Okay. So now we want to know what are the sides of this triangle. So we want to know what this length is and what this length is. So this, the horizontal length, we can simply find it by subtracting the two x coordinates. So this can be given by x2 minus x1. And the vertical direction, that length, that can be found by doing y2 minus y1. And we need to figure out what this distance is. So call that a question mark. Now at this point, I want you to recall the Pythagorean theorem for a right triangle. So if you remember, if we have a right triangle, say, so let's try to draw that here on the side. If we have a right triangle, and if this side is A, this side is B, and hypotenuse is C, the Pythagorean theorem tells us this is A squared plus B squared is equal to the C squared, which is the hypotenuse. So we'll try to use that here because we do have a right triangle. So let's call this length A and this length B, and our D is the C, which is the hypotenuse. So if I plug them into this formula, I get the following. I have A squared, well, A is my x2 minus x1, so that's x2 minus x1 squared, plus B is the length y2 minus y1, so we square that, is equal to some C squared. To finally solve for C, we square root both sides. So we have the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared is equal to C. So that's the hypotenuse. So here's the formula. So therefore we can say our distance D connecting these two arbitrary points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is simply equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So there you have the distance formula. All right, so now it's time for you to plug in some numbers for x1, y1, x2, and y2 and find those distance. All right, so I will stop here. I'll see you guys next time.